Hey, and welcome to Cooking with Kentrice. Today we're going to be making that old fashioned pot roast like my grandma used to make. Yes, indeed. So we started off with like a medium sized roast. I didn't really look at the pound, but nonetheless, we started off by tenderizing our roast. We're gonna go ahead and cut those slits in the roast. We're gonna cut them with using a paring knife, and that way you get those precision cuts where you're able to tenderize your roast, and you want to do that on both sides of the roast. Make sure this is a very vital part. If you want the roast to come out tender, real tender, take it from me. You want to tenderize that roast on both sides. All right. So once we get the roast tenderized, the very first ingredient we're going to be using is one whole clove of fresh garlic. And what I'm going to do, what I did was I sliced the garlic into very thin slices, and you want to just stuff them inside the slits that you made with the paring knife. Okay, so you want to just turn the roast over. You want to do it on both sides, and don't worry about them falling out. That roast kind of hugs that garlic for some reason, but yeah, that's how you do it. Stuff it, stuff it, stuff it. All right. And now we're going to go ahead and season. I use three basic seasons. That's going to be a garlic powder, a black pepper, and season all. Now you can use the seasonings that you like. These are just the three that I choose for my basic pot roast. And you want to make sure that you're seasoning that roast evenly on both sides. And if you notice, the garlic stayed in. Now, once your roast is evenly seasoned, we can go ahead and we want to warm up some canola oil. You can use like a fourth cup, but again, this all depends on what size your roast is. But you want to warm that oil, get it nice and warm, and you want to go ahead and you want to coat your roast with flour. And this is just plain flour, nothing's in it. You want, but just make sure that you're coating it because you're going to brown the roast on both sides. Yes, I said brown the roast on both sides. We're gonna give that roast some nice color. It makes for a very awesome dish, and it also gives the roast a good coating on the outside. The texture is amazing. And you want to also make sure that you're coating the roast with the flour on both sides as well. So, same process. So now you're gonna go ahead and you're gonna pick the roast up. And I just, even if you can get some coating on the side of the roast with the flour, you can do that. I do it sometimes, but it really doesn't matter. As long as it's coated well on both sides, this process is going to, it's a surefire, it's going to work out. Now you're gonna go ahead and brown your roast. And you only brown it for about 2 minutes each side, not very long. It doesn't take very long for the roast to brown. Definitely smells amazing though. I'll tell you, you're gonna start to smell those aromas, the garlic, the seasoned oil. You'll start to smell it. And once it browns on both sides, you're going to set the roast to the side and it rests on a plate. Now, you never move the skillet. I never move it because I'm going to go ahead and add in one whole white onion. I use different onions, different ones for different things. But this one, the white one, I typically use it for red meats. It's a very it gives a lot of flavor. So along with the garlic, it just pairs well with roast, I believe. And we're gonna cook those onions until al dente. Now, by the time you're cooking the onion, it is amazing. They kind of they don't caramelize, but the flavor once they're cooked down like that is so very good. I mean, it's by the time we're done cooking this roast, you may see them. I mean, you won't see them. They won't be so visual, but the taste will definitely be there. I promise. Now I added in a green bell pepper. And now we took a fourth of the flour that was left and browned the flour in the skillet. Now I'm going to use that and just a little bit of the seasonings and the black pepper is amazing. I like to see by black pepper. I don't know about you, but I just browned this flour and it has oil in the skillet. So really basically what you're going to do is you're going to pour, like, I would say maybe a fourth cup of oil. You can tell, you can determine because it'll start to make a paste like so, like that there. But anyway, it makes a paste, and then the paste you can cook a little while as well. But you're going to go ahead and start adding in your cold water. Now, meanwhile, I put my roast in a pan already, and it has the onions, the bell pepper, and the roast. All of it is just sitting there waiting. And we're going to build it up with our vegetables. But in the meantime, this process right here takes about 5-6 minutes, I would say. You're adding in cold water. Make sure the water is cold. And you're adding that in to the fourth cup of flour that we browned and seasoned. Meanwhile, we got beef broth. So now, I just keep have to telling you that this depends on what size roast you have. But right now, for the medium roast, I'm going to be using 3 cups of liquid in all. That was a cup and a half of cold water and also a cup and a half of beef broth. And the aroma. Oh my goodness, the aroma is awesome. You see, it's nice and brown. That's what you're looking for. That's what you're going for. Is the nice brown color. You can continue to stir this for a while. You can also let it sit and continue to cook on like a medium high heat. You want that heat to consistently be going. Hence why I'm stirring quite a bit here because I don't want it to stick. I just want it to thicken real good. So now what we did was go ahead and add in our vegetables. I put carrots around the roast. I use white potatoes, russet potatoes. You can use whatever kind of potato you like. I'm just adding in more beef broth here. Again, you can add in the beef broth as much as you like. According to the size of your roast. I just have to continue to tell you that. But by the time you transfer this roux slash gravy over the roast, oh my goodness. And we added in some rosemary to top it all off. Also, I added 2 bay leaves as well. Bay leaves just give your potatoes a lot of flavor. It definitely adds some pizzazz to the entire meal. The rosemary gives it that succulent taste. And you can go ahead and just pour now your gravy right on top. Give it a little shake. Now, if you don't feel like you had enough gravy the first time, you definitely can repeat the steps over with a 1/4 cup of flour. Brown it with about a 1/4 cup of canola oil. You can season it to your liking. Add in your water and or broth, and voila. I cooked this roast. Right, so now we gonna go ahead and taste it. It paired really well. The roast beef paired really well with some garlic green beans. And I also made a cornbread swirl muffin. So let's see what happens. Let me go ahead and taste it. My husband, he gonna taste it too. So we finna see what happens. I let it cool off, but it's really good. Tender. Oh God, oh so good. So thank you so much for watching Cooking with Catrice. It was delicious. Have a good time.